So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and our honorable panel judges. So in the era of modern human capital management, the concern for maintaining and improving employee satisfaction has become more significant for a company to stay competitive. It is even become more significant for a service company. Today's case came from the small financial service company named Gravity Payments. We are Team Indonesia Bandung Institute of Technology. I'm Edo Prayogo.
I'm Vanessa Purnawan.
I'm Brian Charvia.
And Aisyah Dia Asanti.
We'll present the case regarding transforming human capital management system for sustainable future under the case Gravity Payments. Next. So, the concern of the CEO of Gravity Payment, Dan Price, is to assure the employees' well-being. So this company start an initiative to deliver one size of minimum salary, of minimum level payment. Yeah, minimum rate for the salary for all employees. This initiative is hoped to improve the employees' well-being that can lead to the employee satisfaction, and the company hopes it can achieve its sustainable growth. But the challenge happened. The challenge comes from the employees who the payment is raised, and also from the employees who the minimum payment is not raised. For the employee whose the minimum payment is already above the 70,000 is not raised. But for the low-level employee, they experience significant raise. So there are two concerns from the employee. There are also the challenge faced from the customers and the competitors. These initiatives had led the worry of the customers. The customers worries that by this initiative, it can lead into the higher fees charged to the customers because of the higher costs to be expected by the customers. And then there is also a challenge from the competitors, whether the company can stay competitive with another competitors. Next. So, by analyzing this case, we have structured the problem to be like this. So the main question is how to achieve sustainable future by transforming the human capital management system of the company. It is the compensation system. So there are two big branches in this case. The first branch is the internal management, which is the human capital management or compensation system. And in the other branches is the growth, the issue of growth, whether this initiative can lead into the sustainable growth. So these big branches, we developed the several key issues. From the first branches of international management, we have the key issues of compensation system by considering the low-level company who experience dramatical risk and the upper level employee who do not experience any raise. And the other consideration is how we can design this system to maintain our turnover or to manage our employees' turnover. And from the growth, we have to consider three issues. Those are customers, competitors, and financial resources. Okay. So our framework to solve this case is going to be like this. We have to design the human capital management system, which are compensation system, to maintain our employee satisfaction that we hope can bring sustainable growth by being more competitive than the competitors and deliver the great service to the customers.
Okay, so based on this model that my colleagues have revealed, the main issue that we need to solve is the compensation system. And the Dan Price, the CEO of this company, actually have two options: back to the conventional system or stay at the 70K minimum rate. These two options have each of the risks and also the positive sides. We categorize the risks and the positive side that we need to assess. Can we get it upper a bit? Edo, thank you very much. Based on the internal condition, the competitors, how can we win over the competitors and the customer's perception of this strategy. So we need to assess three things: internal, competitors, and the customers. Let's move on to the positive sides of our assessment. Okay, so here is the two options, back to conventional and 70K minimum rent. And those are the assessment that we need to assess: internal, competitors, and customers. Back to the conventional has the upper hand of the internal competition that it's not very costly, because the 70K minimum rate is a little bit costly. As for the competitors, back to the conventional would reduce the issue of top management moving to another competitors. On the other hand, the customers have the positive side from the back to conventional, that we give a sense of security for the customers, because we will not giving them a higher fee because we stay not very costly. As for the 70K minimum rent, the internal have the positive sides of wage equality, and we can bond with the low level effectively, as have been said at the case. As for the competitors, this strategy, 70K minimum rate, give us the upper hand that we out of the box and it's hard to copy by another competitors. As for the customer side, it's proven at the case that 75% of new customers come to us after the publicity of this new strategy. This said that the 70K minimum rate will enhance our brand image through the strong publicity. But of course, the positive is not always positive. We will always have the risk, and my colleague will deliver that.
Yes. However, we have to do analyzing the risk that we need to be concerned. There are several things, whether we should adapt the conventional payment structure or we just go to the minimum payment of $70,000. So as we can see that unequal compensation will still exist if we still use the conventional structure of payment, and we are still so-so or categorized as the same with other competitors, that we are not a very humanizing financial service and so on. But if we opted this strategy of 70,000 minimum payment, we will go on to the overwhelm of application, because there are lots of enthusiasts of new applicants, because at that time because we have experienced the crisis and the unemployment rate is very high, but we very open for newcomers and workers. And also this will lead to the highly cost and heavy loads for us in the company. And the top management issues, because they experience more but they got no raise in their payment, they will shifting and being acquired by other competitors that give more compensation for top management level instead of inequality issues. But also they also experience the internal pressure of doing this, so because they see that the gravity payment doing this, and how should we do another strategy to cope with this. And also the perspective or thoughts of the existing customers that pressure maybe use the gravity payment will charge more of the fee, that we are still a small business, but this is just a perspective of the customers and the risky of our companies. Next. But we know that the gravity payment concern is for employment needs, that we know the Maslow theory needs. We want to cover basic needs up to love, and we as the employer not to only give them to survive but also to thrive, and that we give them the minimum wage policy.
The detail will be explained by Vanessa.
So thank you, IC. We have understand that we have the problems in order to achieve. Edo, can you be back with the first slide? Thank you. So we have understand that we have this kind of problem to achieve the sustainable growth in the future, especially in the terms of internal management and also in the wage inequalities. So how does we tackle about this problem? And finally, consider about the ease of implementation and also about the impact that will be generated from these kinds of action plan. Then finally, we will have these kinds of action plan which will be started. The first one is about to do some survey in the employees stage, both for the low level employees and also the upper levels employees. The second one is to engage with the senior management and the shareholders, because actually the Dan price has already established a really good relationship with low-level management. The low-level employees. However, with the upper level, he cannot really engage with the team. And the third one is about to really develop a new transformation system in the human capital management for the gravity, as we call it, client-based compensation system. Because as we see that the gravity is really valued as a kinds of clients, and we want to really establish this kind of system that can value our client by using our employee. And the fourth one is to optimize the publications, because we actually have already a really positive publication from the media, but we want to enhance it by our transformation, and also to pursue some venture capital investment. As for the long-term plan, we will develop to have this kind of stock option to engage the employee to the company. Next one, please. So we will start our plan with the survey, because actually we still don't know actually what is wrong with this gravity, what is wrong with the system. So we want to ask about the opinions about for the low levels employees and also the upper levels employees. So there will be questionnaires for each of the employees distributed, and also we will have some talk. So the HR team of the company will have some talk with the employees to understand their needs, their satisfaction, their current satisfaction level, and also their future, what they want to do in the future, and also the plan. And from this survey, finally, we will see that, okay, this is the needs of the low management system, the low management employees, and this is the needs of the upper level employees. And finally, we can understand what is actually wrong in the system, and we can develop a better system for our employees. After that, Dan Price, as the CEO, actually have already get a very touchful with his lower level employees. However, he cannot really engage with the board of directors and the senior management, and also he has a kind of lawsuit from his shareholders about these kinds of issues. Therefore, we really encourage Dan Price to do some kinds of engagement with the shareholders team and also the senior management team to know their aspiration and to really know what is actually satisfy them, and to really have them in the internal system and do not have this kinds of opportunity for competitors to acquire them. So we will understand their needs and do some talks. Next one, please. So we have known that several key issues in this kinds of case, that actually there are three categories in these kinds of employees. The first one is a low-level employees, which received a raise in a kinds of payment until the minimum payment of $70 US. And then we have these kinds of middle class employment, which actually do not receive any kinds of other payment except for the minimum stages. And the last one is the upper level management, which consisted of the senior management team. So we really understand that these kinds of issues that underlines the wage inequalities makes it really hard for the employees to really establish themselves in the company and to have the kinds of relation with the company. So finally, we will establish this kinds of client-based compensation system, because actually the objective of Dan Price to establish these kinds of minimum wages to implement the system is to have their client recognized for recognition for the company. However, he failed about that. And as we have this kind of system, then in the we will have the compensation level and also the kinds of satisfaction level. We will really see from the questionnaires and the interviews from the employees, and we will have these kinds of annual customer satisfaction level. So we will distribute our questionnaires to our customers yearly basis, and to see whether how satisfied they are with our company. And these kinds of results then will be assessed by the HR team to see that how much compensation will be given to each of the level of management. So if you're the low level of management, your compensation will not be as high as the high level management. it really we want to have this kinds of system to reduce the inequalities for the senior management team, that they feel really is unequal for them. Why the low level get the raises in the wages but they don't? So we really want to encourage them, if they really implement this kinds of client-based compensation system with all of the clients, so they have the ratings for them, and it will be assessed in the annual basis, and they will get the compensation level based on their level of employment. So, however, in the low-level management team, we have to see the fact that actually there is a web developer that is actually have the raise in a kinds of salary, but he thought that he's not into that, so he just tried to move from the other company. So because he cannot really release his kinds of aspiration for the company, therefore before the low level management system can move to the middle level of management system to achieve more compensation, we will have some training and also enhancement for the low level management system, low level management employees, to increase their skills and also their confidence in doing their job. And the fourth one is we will have some media publication and also to engage with more investment with the VC, because we are ensured that after doing these kinds of transformation in our HR system, we are quite ready to present ourselves to the media, to get more publication, to get more branding and image positively in the society, to get the client as well, and also to propose to the venture capital for investment. And for the long-term plan, it is quite funny that we will have these kinds of stocks options. So in order to engage our employee more with our company, then we will have this kinds of future growth plan called the stocks option. So we will get this kinds of our company stocks. In this case, we will have the stocks given to the employees, that they will be feel that they are the shareholders of this company. Then as therefore that they will be more feeling they own this company and do their job well. So after knowing our action plan, we will show you how to execute this kinds of plan within our timeline, and also what is the impact generated from our plan. The first action plan, which are the employee survey, will be generated in the first year. So we will have this kinds of survey in the first year, and then we will have the prize to have engage with the BOD in the first and the second year to know actually what is wrong with this kinds of company. And then we will have this kinds of compensation system started from the first year, but will be improving year by year until the third year and also the next. And also the last one is about the publication and the venture capital, because now not in the current state that the company face these kinds of funding problems, they will really try hard after 1 year implement this kind of system to search for the venture capital that will help our funding. The next one is about the stock option. It is a long-term plan, so we will really implement it after the 5th year or more. And the impact that will generate it from these kinds of plan is the first one. We will have a lower turnover because we want to really reduce these kinds of wage inequalities within our employees. So they will really feel satisfied with our HR system and so on. So it will reduce our turnover rate. And the next one is about the
increase loyalty and customers.
Increase loyalty and for the customers. So we will increase this kinds of, because our HR system is integrated into our, you can say that, client base. So it will really enhance our client expectation towards us. And the other one is about the competitive advantage. And in the short, so let us briefly conclude our summary.
Okay, to pursue the future growth of his company, the main issue that Dan Price needs to solve is the compensation system. Is to find the compensation system that fit the internal condition, can win over the competitors, and can make the customers more loyal and more satisfied to his company. And we believe by doing this strategy, Dan Price can achieve that, can achieve the growth for the gravity financing. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Hash.
I really quite like the idea of having the pipeline for all these action plans. And, you are able to articulate well the risks and the challenges and the analysis is pretty well thought out.
Thank you.
I just have a question. Wow, you are saying wow, the whole purpose of having the pay rise across the board is to is to introduce that sort of equity and equality to most of the staff, and you have the survey to measure the success, kind of. How about the customers, right? 8 months down the road, some new customers have joined. Are we saying we are okay and we don't need to get the feedback from the customers, especially those long-standing, existing old customers? What are the differences they feel now when compared to the introduction of this pay rise? Otherwise, how can that be sustainable? They may just walk away. Because we are talking about, I believe, we are talking about high costs in terms of wages.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to clarify that the strategy is to stay for 70,000 minimum rate that can lead the customers to be worried for the higher fees because of higher costs inside the company, right? So how to convince the customer to stay with us is by doing this. First step, that the company should come to the customer to say that to make the publication that our company really concerned for the employee. So that's why we will lead to the higher employee satisfaction. And as we have the higher employee satisfaction, we will be able to deliver better service or high quality service for our customers. So by this logical flows, we can really assure the customers to stay with us and never worry about the higher fees, because we can assure them that we have a higher quality. And why we can maintain our fees while in the other hand we raise our compensation, we raise our minimum wage, because we have analyzed that the new customer who comes to our company, who become the new clients because of the publication, is higher. The revenue generated from the new customers is higher than the incremental cost imposed by the increased minimum wage. And as it is a service company, once we can make our customers loyal, it means that the customers can be satisfied and can stay with us to be a sustainable customers.
Yeah, I know what you are trying to say, but you have, yeah, definitely you will continue to give that sort of assumptions to your customers. What I'm trying to say is, well, this is what you want them to agree with, but you just don't have the channel for them to give you the feedback, right? If you have the survey for the customers to fill in, then you are able to know from their perspective, are we now receiving better services after this innovative scheme? And when compared to the other similar service providers, are you guys now providing better services because of increased employees' loyalty and better motivation, etc., etc.? You just don't have that sort of objective feedback given by the customers. So if I am Price, I want you guys to give me, hey, shall I continue to proceed with this? Well, next year maybe 80,000. Well, you just have no means to objectively measure the success of this scheme. Maybe, well, if the customer feedback is really negative, that may be the ground for me being Price to revisit the whole scheme.
Okay, for now, actually, I want to maybe clear my statement about the compensation-based system for the client. actually our compensation-based system will not really start it without the survey from the customer. So at the first round that we will collect the survey to the customers, and after that we will have these kinds of ratings from the customers into our employees, and from that result then we will have our compensation from the of all of the employees from the result from our client-based satisfaction level for each of the employees level actually. So to make it clear that actually we have the channels to do the survey at the first, therefore we can implement it into the human capital management system that we.
I recall you guys touched upon that, but the focus is on how to improve the performance of our employees, low level, mid level, and high level, right? But yeah, wow, if you do have the two, then the focus should be more on the customers' feedback and the perception about the whole system.
That's an investigation.
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got a couple of questions really, but just staying on the subject of this client-based compensation scheme, it seems that might work relatively well for low-level employees who perhaps have direct contact with customers, but I'm not sure how it would work for the senior managers who don't have day-to-day contact with customers, and rather than basing their pay on customer satisfaction, perhaps it should be more directed towards company profitability or something like that. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so basically you are asking about how is the technical of client-based compensation system. So client-based compensation system like this. So we have thought that it is only a small portion of employees who interact directly with the clients. So the client-based compensation system will work like this. First, we have to distribute questionnaire or survey or interview with our customer to decide the level of satisfaction. So after we got the average level of satisfaction of our customers, let's say it's 7 out of 10. So we already have the compensation scheme of each level of employees if the compensation the level of satisfaction is 7. So if the level of customer satisfaction is 7, so the compensation of the low level employee will be like this, the mid level will be like this, and the high level will be like this. It will be more integrated for all of the employees, and the benefit of doing this kind of survey or compensation system is by let all of the employees to involve or to work hard to increase the level of satisfaction, because they will receive the same level of customer satisfaction, which will lead the rate of compensation they will receive or the employee will receive.
Surely remuneration and the pot of money that you've got to distribute amongst your employees is based on your revenues and your profitability, but not on whether you get a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 from your customer. You can be not overly popular with your customers and still highly profitable as a business. So I don't quite get the correlation between satisfaction and pay for everybody. Who gets if everyone gets if you get 7 out of 10, everyone gets remunerated, but who gets the big pot of money at the top? Shareholders, presumably.
Yeah. So the compensation level is not at the same amount. So it will be higher for the higher level employees and will be lower for the mid level and the low level. And we have also the different variation in the compensation. The compensation is not always in the form of money. It can be in the form of facilities. It can be some benefits like a financing scheme for their house or something like that, or like a flexibility time for the employees.
So sorry, can I just jump in? Can I just clarify? Are we talking about the overall customer level of satisfaction?
Yeah.
Yep.
Rather than if I'm low level, if I'm dealing with an individual customer and that individual customer feedback, that's not what we're talking about, right? So if the overall customer base are happy with us, then everybody gets a bonus. If the overall customer, or if someone actually pisses a customer off and you draw down the overall rating, everyone get penalized.
Not exactly that, but let's say we have a scenario. So if we have the 6 rating, the scenario of the percentage of the compensation that will be given to all of the employee will be like this. Do you get what I mean?
Keep going.
Okay, so we will have a scenario. So we'll have the customer overall rating, which is for example, the customer gave us the overall rating of 6, and then we will have a scenario. Okay, so since today we get a 6 of the rating, the higher level will get a bonus of how many percent of the revenue, and then at the mid level how many percent, and how much percent, and then at the low level how much, like that. So it's as simply as we want to really relating the customer satisfaction, since it's a service business, the customer satisfaction that could lead to customer loyalty with our compensation system. So the employee will be with us to maintain the satisfaction and the loyalty of the customers. Basically, what we want to achieve from this strategy is that. I hope this answers your question. Or you want to?
And to add more, maybe, we will very critical about this, that we ensure that this is very fair for our employees and clients, and we will very clearly critical that who is the PIC of this project, and we will very assess them based on our rating. Actually, this is a kind of rating of our company, right?
Yeah.
Like a 6 out of 10, and then for the details they will be assessed, another assessment again.
Well, I have a question. You say you're going to go looking for venture capital investment in time, perhaps once you've done your survey and so on. I hope you've got some publicity and this and that. Firstly, how easy do you think it would be to get VC investment when you appear to be so generous to your employees and handing out money left, right and centre? And secondly, surely there's a concern that the venture capital company will want certain controls over the amount of outgoings and generosity that you give to your employees.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they want incentivization, but at the end of the day they want a bottom line and a turnover of an investment where they can then basically get their IRR targets satisfied. So how are we going to achieve that?
Okay, how we can achieve to engage venture capital is like this. So why we stay in this level of compensation is because we are sure that we can gather the high numbers of new customers to be our clients because of our generous compensation. So why this matters for VC? Because by implement this compensation system, we have analyzed that this will lead very good publications. And what VC looks for, we really knows that VC looks for the prospect of the company. They do not look the current condition of the company, but they look for the future of the company. If we success to engage the new customers and we have the big base of our customers, it means that our company has a bright prospect for that can makes the venture capital interest to our company.
Sorry, can I clarify? This is not your presentation. It's my memory not well enough. One of the problems of not using PowerPoint is actually testing the judge's memory as well. So we're saying that under your proposal of variable, so we're introducing variable pay again, and so for the low-level employees, would they actually result in potentially lower than 70K income? So
No.
that's still a floor.
The base,
Yeah,
the base is 70,000.
So we're only talking about increasing the cost base of we have a very high fixed cost base now.
Yeah.
And we're only talking about increasing the higher fixed cost base. And your implementation timeline is how long?
For around 5 years and more. So the short term will be 5 years and the long term will be more than 5 years.
How long do you think the company will survive under your increasing higher cost base and you can't actually increase the price to your customer? Will they survive 5 years?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have seen so many startups in Indonesia that sacrifice to have a higher fixed cost and they can survive up until they engage with another VC. That's why we are very optimistic that.
And in this case, in the gravity payment, we also see that it is stated that the revenue is still positive from their clients.
statement.
Yes. Yeah.
So
even though they are still bleeding, it's a very heavy load.
Just while we've got that slide up, do you think any of your senior managers will hang around 5 years to wait for their stock options?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Because of the bright prospect of this company, because of the increased numbers of new customers.
Other than that, to make them stay, we will also give them their bonus and of course their intangible benefits such as the flexibility and so on, that what they need to stay at this company based on the survey that we've done. So
Sorry.
we're okay. So we really hope.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
We hope to answer your question. Thank you.